we're going to go over the CP14I tax notice. So this is a notice from the Internal Revenue Service, and in this case, CP14I indicates that a notice to a taxpayer who may not have withdrawn the required minimum distribution amount from his or her IRA or annuity for the tax year. So as you can tell, this is this is obviously an example from the IRS website. Generally speaking, the CP notices that I've seen on the website cover tax year 2017 clearly to indicate that this is a sample and not an actual person's notice. So we're going to go through this. There's 5 pages here. We'll walk through each page step by step so we can have a clear understanding of what this notice is trying to indicate to us. So in the top right corner, you'll see the type of notice, CP14I, the tax year for the, in this case, 2017 tax year. The notice date was January 30th of the following year, 2018. You would have a social security number, and as with most notices, you would have a phone number to contact the IRS with. So in this case, you have unpaid taxes because you did not withdraw the RMD. You're also going to have some sort of penalty and accrued interest. So in this case, this clearly states right here the amount of tax that was owed based on the difference between the RMD amount and the amount that was withdrawn. So in this case, the tax bill was $3,183. Payments and credits were $2,571.09. Then there's a failure to pay penalty and interest charges. So as always, the IRS gives you the option to just say, oops, my mistake, and go ahead and pay the outstanding amount. And if you pay by the stated date right here in bold, then you would incur 0 additional interest or penalty charges. Think of this as kind of a payoff statement similar to what you would get if you requested one for your mortgage. You know, if you pay this total amount by this date, then no more penalties or interest will accrue. But if you decide to pay by February 28th, then they would have to recalculate any accrued interest or penalties. So you can pay it online on the IRS website. You can mail a check or a money order with the requested payment to the IRS location indicated in this voucher. You can simply just cut this off right here. You would make your check or your money order payable to the United States Treasury, write your social security number, the tax year, and the tax form number, so IRS form 1040, for example, on your payment. So it is important to note that for a lot of married couples, if one of you has not taken the RMD for the year, the other one may not have taken the RMD as well, in which case you should probably receive a separate note, because an individual retirement arrangement or a 401k is not a joint account, it's an individual account. So most likely you would not see John and Mary Smith. You may, but I'm not exactly sure how the IRS would do this if there were a married couple with both spouses missing an RMD. Maybe they're able to combine this, but if you receive 2 or more, then that might be one for each account. So if you think the IRS made a mistake, then you can always call them at the number that they provided to discuss your account information. The next part of the form goes through payment options. You can pay online electronically. You can set up an installment plan either through the website or by filing IRS Form 9465. You can submit an offer in compromise where you basically tell the IRS, yep, I owe you, $1,075. I can't pay that, but I can pay X amount that is a smaller dollar amount. And then the IRS can either accept it or not accept it. So there are links to different parts of the IRS website where you can learn a little bit more about these options. If you have an IRS account established, you can actually go view your account balance within that account. And of course, if you don't say anything to the IRS is going to operate under the assumption that you totally agree with them, whether or not you do. So the next section, we're going to discuss the penalties. So in this case, there's a total failure to pay penalty, in which this is 0.5% of a monthly payment for not paying the tax to you owe by the due date. There's discussion. So that failure to pay penalty accrues at 0.5% per month or part of a month up to 25% total. There's a little bit more information on how you can remove or reduce those penalties, either through some sort of personal circumstance or some sort of reasonable cause, or if you're given erroneous written advice by the IRS. So the next part of this is the interest statement, where it shows the total interest that was calculated, and then it shows certain periods over which this interest was calculated. So for example, October 1st, 2016 through December 31st, 2016, the interest rate charged was 3%. Then beginning January 1st, 2017, the interest rate was still 3%. Now, that seems a little odd to me because this was for the 2017 tax year. So this is kind of another indication that this form is a sample. This is not what you would expect to see on the real form or the real notice. So then there's additional verbiage about additional interest charges. You can receive more information. What I don't notice on here on this sample that you may see in an actual form CP14I is the calculation of the penalty that accrues when you don't withdraw an RMD by the end of the tax year. So I would expect to see something along those lines in the billing summary on an actual sheet. Of course, I can't show it to you because this is the best that I can do. So we'll put links in the show notes to some of the forms that we mentioned and other topics that might be relevant to this. So, if you want more information about those forms, you can always check out the article. Each of our tax form articles provides a step-by-step walkthrough of how to complete that form. So if you like our articles, please subscribe to our newsletter. If you like our YouTube videos, please subscribe to our channel. If you have a question about a CP notice that you've received that I haven't covered in a video yet, please hit me up in the comments section. I try to do these videos based on the examples that I can pull down from the IRS website. However, there are quite a few fairly common notices that I have not been able to find yet. So if you want me to do a video on a CP notice that you received or some other IRS notice that you've received, and hit me up in the comments section and we'll see how we can work through this. So thank you very much and have a great day.